Take it away, Jean-François.
Hey, this is the Book of Wisdom. Thank you for gathering tonight for this channeling session. Thank you to all of you, light beings, for espousing your mission on this planet. It is a great service that you are rendering to yourself and to each other. We would like tonight to start with a little introduction. There's a story that's been lingering in the human race. This story is about lost wisdom. First of all, wisdom is never lost. It can be forgotten, but is never lost because wisdom is always there within your DNA, within your cells, and it's just awaiting to flourish again. Your physical body is your temple, and this is an expression I presume we actually heard it from a few human beings sharing it with us. Your body is your temple, so if you treat your body as your temple, it will reveal its wisdom to you. As human being, this is the first place you need to start with your physical body to have access to this hidden wisdom, this forgotten wisdom on purpose in this lifetime, so you can remember your inner wisdom and your collective wisdom and the cosmic wisdom as well. You are multi-dimensional being and have access to multi-dimension, as a bunch of you on this call are already tapping into. Know that the cosmic wisdom is a really important part of elevating consciousness here on planet Earth. And wisdom also coming from the inner core, those beings that are living in the earth or under the earth, so to speak, are actually carrying lots of wisdom as well. So by connecting, by grounding yourself to the planet, to the earth itself, you also have access to the intelligence of those beings because they are actually filling up the earth grid with their inner wisdom, as above, so below. So what you're seeing up there in the cosmos, it's actually also within your planet as well. This wisdom is also within your bodies and outside, and the cosmic forces and the earth forces. There is much wisdom, as some of you already are tapping in the wisdom of the elements, the wisdom of the water. Water carries so much information. Depending of the source of water that you're drinking, you can actually awaken different type of wisdom within your body. So make sure that at least you are filtrating your water. This is really, really important for you to really get the purity and not be disturbed by tap water with lots of chlorine that creates dysregulated microbiome, which causes dysregulation inside your body and inside your brain as well, causing different neurotransmitter to be imbalanced. So make sure you're drinking a high quality water, filtered water at least. Exposing your water to the sun ray will help also to energize the water and amplify its strength for it to heal the different parts of your body and for this light to reawaken your inner wisdom. There is the wisdom of the trees, the wood. The trees are your best example of what it is to be a portal. They are opening up to receive the energy from the sky and bringing it down to the earth, and also bringing the energy from the earth all the way up to the sky, creating this harmonious exchange. There is no coincidence why you have this symbol of the tree of life. There is also much wisdom in the sky and the rain, the wind and the minerals. It will be up to you to venture and open yourself to receive the wisdom from the elements. You can talk to the elements. Open yourself to receive what they will have to tell you, whether it's going to be a vision, a voice in your mind, or a feeling that will get to your core. The more you are entering in contact with the realm of the elementals, the higher your vibration will be. It might seem counterintuitive that if you connect with a rock, you're going to increase your vibration. Don't let your mind fool you. There are so many bits and pieces of wisdom in rocks. Specifically, these rocks that are standing or lying on the sacred site that are laid out all around the world. Some of these are also underwater or under the earth, yet to be discovered. The connection that you will get out of opening yourself when you are on these sites, whether they are stone circle, pyramid, or what have you, if you are being drawn or pulled towards certain site, and this can happen by just looking at the image of a site or a stone. You don't even have to be there physically. You can connect with the site remotely. So it's up to you. We are sharing that with you because this is easily accessible. And we know that most of you will well understand what we are speaking about. The quest for wisdom is an eternal quest because there are infinite wisdom available for you to tap in. Most people are looking outside still for wisdom. There's nothing wrong with that. And yet, we would like to remind you that the most coherent and accessible wisdom lies within you. And as we said, if you start taking care of your physical body, hydrating yourself, nourishing yourself with good food, moving your body, resting enough, the unfoldment of this inner wisdom will happen organically as you are creating space and the right condition for this wisdom to arise, emerge from within your own DNA. So remember, you are not missing on anything outside of yourself. Practicing what you called heart brain coherence is a start to have access to this wisdom. Counterintuitively, for much people also on your planet, in the day and age you're living in, slowing down inside of yourself, creating more space, is the shortcut, so to speak, to have access to the higher, more whole version of who you are. This is what we have to say for now. We would be open to exchange and receive some question to create a dialogue between us and you tonight.
Thank you, Book of Wisdom. That was good information, and I think we're all going to take that to heart. I have a question about my physiology and a lump on the back of my left jaw. Can you provide any insight or remedies which may be effective for me, please?
What is the emotion that you are feeling in regard to that lump?
Puzzlement. I know it's there for a purpose, and it has been there for over a year, but I would like to see it disappear.
Does this lump cause you discomfort or pain?
No,
So, what is driving the desire for this to go away?
my ability to manifest it disappearing.
What if it has to stay there for a little while?
That's fine.
We suggest you connect with that lump and nurture benevolent and compassionate and open hearted relationship. It's not there as a threat. That's what we will have to say to you tonight.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Anyone else?
I have a question. Would it be okay if I abbreviated you to like Bookie or Wizzy, or are you really attached to Book of Wisdom as a name for you?
We are not attached to any name. It's just the name that we gave ourselves so you can identify us and make sense with your own mind.
So if we want to connect with your energy, and apologies if you've covered this today, I'm just a bit all over the place. What would be the best permission slip to use to connect with your energy and your wisdom directly? Wizzy?
As we said, we are a representation of your own wisdom, of the collective wisdom that you can all tap into, and the cosmic wisdom as well, universal wisdom. So you all have access to our energy. First, you will need to make the right condition for your own wisdom to manifest. And the first way, as we spoke, was through the physical body and some of your habits that needs to be in check. And then make sure you are living from the heart by being open to whatever comes your way. So, by being open to these events that will trigger certain emotion inside of you, you will have the opportunity to dig deeper into your inner wisdom, trusting your system, your heart, your body, that everything that you need to solve that situation is already within you. It's already within your internal construct. It's there. So by doing that, you will actually nurture and cultivate your inner wisdom. And the more you do that, the more you will have access to higher wisdom, so to speak. Does that answer your question, or you would like more details?
It does answer the question, and I would like it a little more focused with um, specifically what I am learning to do right now. I am learning to connect with a counterpart from a different civilization, and the energy is quite different from what I'm used to. And that element of trust that you're talking about, need I need to maybe amplify it, or allow it. Is there anything else within, for example, the channeling process, like Jean-François and you are doing right now, that I can take from this in addition to what you have said for my own channeling process?
It has been spoken by some people in your group already. The more you will ground yourself and be connected to your planet, the easier everything will be, including channeling, because you are an extension of the earth itself, like a plant, like a tree. So the more you are vibrating in synchronicity, in harmony with nature, all of this process will kind of click and happen swiftly without effort. Just by you putting your intention, and bam, it will be there.
Thank you.
Thank you for your service. We appreciate your energy.
Thank you.
Hi, Book of Wisdom.
Hi there.
In keeping with the theme of wisdom, love and wisdom have a very close and important relationship. And I would like to get a little bit more into that. And perhaps you could relate it to something that was mentioned earlier today that has to do with a mind within the heart. And therefore, wisdom coming from the heart. Can you shed some more information and clarity to that theme?
Thank you for asking the question. The first thing we would like to say is that wisdom is love in action. There is no wisdom without love. The heart is the instrument that unites. Therefore, is what allows you to connect to the infinite space to the quantum field. So the heart is your portal to access inner wisdom and higher wisdom. It is what connects you to who you truly are, your soul here in this physical body, the parallel lives in which you are operating as we speak, all of you. The energy of the different dimension. So each of you have a specific path and mission, so to speak, which basically a mission is a series of specific action that you are intending to do during this incarnation. So wisdom is what is allowing you to act in perfect harmony with your soul vibration, your oversoul vibration, and this physical body, which is your instrument, your vehicle to navigate in this lifetime. So the heart has a mind on its own, sending information to the brain and to the body. One can access the wisdom of the heart by connecting to the center point, focusing its energy in the middle of the physical heart, focusing on the eye of the needle in the middle of the heart. And this is really easy to access. You just have to ask your mind to focus there. Don't effort it. Your mind already knows exactly where to put your attention. So the more you will practice this type of exercise while you are in a relaxed state, you are opening the gates for the wisdom to show up. And this wisdom might manifest with some vision, sounds, forms, geometry, feelings, a mix of all these things together, a sense of deep, 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 deep connection with everything that exists. There is much to be explored, and depending of your level of consciousness and the amount of work, especially emotional shadow work, working on your lower vibration emotion, depending on the amount of transmutation you've done in your life, you will have access to deeper wisdom or more surface wisdom. Don't push it. Don't rush it. Go one step at a time. This is the path of least resistance. So if you can practice connecting with your heart, at least 10-15 minutes a day in a quiet environment, much will be revealed to you, and more will unfold from the inside out. Go at it with no expectation whatsoever. This is what we have to say on that. Does that answer your question?
Thank you. It does. Just a little commentary. I already practice connecting to what I call 0 point in my heart. but I guess I only do it for much shorter than 15 minutes. Here and there, I do that. And probably a minute to 2 minutes. I
It's
will
too
try
short.
I will try the 15 minutes because I get that. That is really too short. Thank you. Thank you.
Because you will see it's an amplification as you are focusing right now with these short session, you are not getting to your full speed, if we could say it that way. Let's take the example of a bike. You know, with the amount of time you are doing it, you are on the second gear out of 15 gear. So the longer you will do it, you will be able to get more velocity and go to the higher gear. So you will experience something completely different.
Thank you, Book of Wisdom. That is very profound. Thank you for me.
Thank you very much.
Hello, Book of Wisdom.
Hello.
I would like to turn the page a bit here and ask about the symbology of wisdom in books and that of the symbology of wisdom in stories, verbal stories. I recognize that both books and verbally stories are communicated and oftentimes great tools to transfer wisdom from, say, a parent to a child or a teacher to a student. I would just love your interpretation and perspective of the two different methods.
That's a really interesting question. We are happy you're asking. So, the oldest and still the most powerful transfer of wisdom is from one being to another by the voice, telling a story, or simply energetically imagine two races that are not speaking the same language, but still transferring wisdom by showing each other how they are doing certain things or how they are being in a certain way together. Remember that language created a completely different way of living because of this communication, and at the same time increased a lot the speed at which your thoughts are going in your brain. When you are interacting without speaking words, you are exchanging a really, really powerful energy vibration that is talking to the other person, body, soul, and multidimensionality. You, in your day and age, have beliefs that speaking words is how things are getting transferred in a more efficient way, but it's not always the case. You would benefit out of talking less and connecting more, heart to heart, body to body, soul to soul. Your indigenous people in some parts of the world are still carrying that way of living. Listen to them, look at them, study how they are living their life because they are carrying deep, deep wisdom. Books or a medium that is really interesting and efficient. Also, everything that is in written format, digitalized in your day and age, is really proficient to transfer wisdom. Yet, there is a lot of garbage. that is not necessarily great wisdom. In your day and age, you have more garbage than wisdom circling on your internet. So, with your own guidance, with your internal compass, being able to discern what is wisdom versus what is, sorry for the term, junk, is important. And you can discern that by being connected to your heart and to your gut, to your intuition. And this center of energy will vibrate and kind of make you smile from the inside when you are in contact with deep wisdom. You will also feel the air in the back of your neck or on your arms or on your legs raising up when you are in contact with deep wisdom, let's say in a book that you're reading. So, books have been a way to preserve information and knowledge to pass from generation to generation. And yet, right now, in your day and age, books are going to become less and less relevant because you are starting to remember your multidimensionality. We are speaking through a channel right now, as you are also portals and letting certain complex of energy, entities, higher realms to be speaking through you, their wisdom. This is the way that much indigenous communities lived and survived, by connecting to the earth wisdom, the cosmic wisdom, and the higher realm wisdom. You are going back to this way of accessing wisdom and creating new system and ways of interacting together. So some of you will still feel comfortable reading a lot of books because it's their preference. It's fine. But this type of medium is going to become less and less relevant for where you are going. You're going to become more telepathic. You're going to become more porous and open to higher wisdom, to exchange with other beings that will bring you much wisdom, more than your mind can comprehend right now. You cannot even imagine what's coming. So the best preparation is to tune your own instrument like you will tune a guitar or a violin. Does that answer your question?
Oh, yeah. Much appreciation. Thank you.
Thank you for your question. It was such a pleasure and delight to answer it.
Hello, Book of Wisdom.
Hello.
My question is kind of piggybacks on some of the other questions that have been proposed, and it has to do with getting the information. Like, ever since I was very little, I could talk on subjects I had no clue about, but the information would just come. It would just kind of pop into my head, and then I'd just be able to talk about it. And is this the type of connections that you're talking about, where it just kind of pops in your head and you just kind of know what it is, even though you've never read on it or even known about the subject prior?
Exactly. So, what you're speaking of, yes, it can come into your head, but some people, and maybe that's the case and we are not understanding properly, but some people will just know inside of themselves without never have heard it sub vocally inside themselves, they will just know something or how to do something. They will remember instinctively. And this is coming more and more as the veil is getting thinner and thinner. So some people, like you just said, will have downloads of information which will come true sometimes during the night, sometimes during the day. They will have an instant epiphany of some sort, those haha moments, but way more powerful than what most of you are used to have as haha moments. Some of you will become pure portal and channel for this wisdom, and it's going to be your daily life, kind of your work, because this is what is intended for you in this lifetime. So stay open, because these ways of accessing wisdom are coming. And this can happen when you are in contact with the elements in nature as well.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello. I'm going to try and simplify my question as much as I can. With regard to the location of every object, every person that exists, from what I've come to understand, their location is not separate from the object, but the location is actually a part of, a property of the object. And in other channeled works, this has been called the locational variable. And if you can isolate the locational variable of an object and replace it with a locational variable of a different coordinate of space-time, then that person or object instantly ceases to exist at one location and it appears in a new location with that new locational variable. And I've started to tune in and play with isolating this locational variable. Am I on the right path in assuming that in order to do this, my current locational variable is actually a geometric key that connects to a corresponding geometric key of the new location through some sort of hyperdimensional gateway? Because I'm starting to see shapes that are beyond third dimensional space when I try and focus on getting an answer to this question, if that makes sense.
You're correct. This is, and everything is a form. So we would like to specify that everything is geometry. You are maybe not able to recognize it, but all of you and all of your matter is geometry.
All I'm able to do is perceive this type of hyperdimensional gateway, and then everything freezes. It's like I don't know the next step in connecting those two locational variables of replacing one with another. I feel like there's a misstep. Is there any advice you can offer me?
Relax.
Damn it.
Don't push it. Don't push it. Let it come to you. Let it come to you. Don't try to go and get it. This is the old ways of doing things. This has to be shed by all of you, including the channel. Stop efforting. Create space for this to happen, and it will happen effortlessly when it's time for you. So trust that if this is in part of your highest purpose here, it will show up. It will show up in the most subtle way and maybe funny way, actually.
Well, as an addendum to that, I have this fear that if I'm able to do it, I won't get back.
And are you familiar with this fear? Is it something new, or is it something that's been there for you for a long time?
Well, I was very excited about it until it occurred to me that what if it works? And what if I change my locational variable to a different time-space coordinate? And I'm gone. I mean, I suddenly realized that that's a possibility. Is it a
Well,
possibility?
you will never cease to exist. So if this is in your highest alignment to be, so to speak, gone from here, you will be somewhere else. And it will be even better for you to be in that place. So don't fear your destiny, because if it's your destiny, you are just creating more resistance. But you will eventually get there anyway.
I was more thinking of the logistics of I have a pet in a house. What if I
Everything
suddenly
will be
disappeared?
taken care of.
Okay.
Everything will be taken care of if anything would happen to you. So this is a holistic system. Nothing will be left out. The only reason why you are thinking it that way is because this is what the mind does. It creates separation, and it creates win-lose situation. Your destiny is win-win. It's not win-lose. If you go there, then there's a consequence. There is no consequence in your destiny.
I think I more consider people who have disappeared in the Bermuda Triangle and their families have lost them. Me just disappearing and my family loses me. So, like, what if that actually happened? But then again, I guess it's supposed to have happened if it does happen.
It will be the path that they have chosen before this incarnation,
Okay.
and they will grow out of this happening as well. So, in a way, it's a service that you are giving to them in terms of how they can unfold and grow in this lifetime, if this is what is meant to happen.
Okay. Thank you.
Does that help you?
It does. It's just weird to be so excited to try something and then suddenly be so panicked if it works. It's a strange feeling.
Thank you for your question and your passion into exploring who you truly are.
Thank you.
Anthony?
Hi, it's an honor to interact with you.
Honor to us as well.
I heard that I'm interacting with the Book of Wisdom entity. Is that correct?
It's correct.
So, what is your definition of wisdom, and how do Earth humans at this point get more wisdom? Because I feel like we have a lot of information, but maybe not using it in a wise way as a species at the moment.
As we said, wisdom is love in action. So when you are acting out of your heart energy, aligned with your body and with your mind, you will be expressing normally wisdom, because you are all wise being. So the problem right now, if it is a problem, if you decide it's a problem, what's going on right now is that most of the human race are acting from survival, from fight, flight, freeze, and they are not acting from their heart with the courage to face what's coming their way and learn out of the event that is triggering them or putting them in a state of discomfort. Therefore, they are not acting in alignment with their potential, their inner wisdom. If everyone on the planet will be doing what we suggest to one of you, doing the 10-15 minutes of connection with the heart, the whole planet will be completely different in 2 days. Energetically to start. And then everything would shift in the matter of a few months because everyone would be tapping into their wisdom. It's as simple as that, yet really complex because of a lot of trauma that the human race is carrying from generation to generation to generation to generation. So the solution to more wisdom lies inside each individual. And what you are doing here, doing these gathering of high vibrational energy, is igniting your inner wisdom. As yes, you are channeling higher beings, higher vibration. Remember, this is just a permission slip to activate your own wisdom inside of yourself. So the wisdom is not outside of you. It is inside of you. Then you can share wisdom in books and videos and what have you to share the wisdom. But if you are sharing these things from your mind in a state of separation, this is not wisdom, it's more garbage. Does that answer your question?
It's yes, I very much appreciate everything you're teaching us. And I have a brief follow-up, if I may, about this.
Yes.
So let's say there's some type of challenge. If I'm in circumstances where I'm very removed from it, it feels easier for me to tap in and meditate. For example, if there's two countries who are at war with each other and both sides are experiencing loss of life right now and bombs dropping, since I'm geographically very far away and I don't have any friends or family on either side, it's easier for me to tap in and get my own guidance on that. But if I were living in one of those countries and I was seeing the bombs being dropped, I think it might feel more challenging to tap in. So when there are, for example, two countries who are at war with one another, how do the people who the reality that's unfolding right in front of their eyes, how can they tap into that vibrational heart space?
It will be a real challenge because the physical body feels threatened. So in those situations, to tap in these mechanism of relaxation is a real challenge because the nervous system is in fight or flight for reasons that are obvious. There is a real outside threat. It's not a psycho-emotional threat. It's a real threat that is threatening the physical body. Therefore, your survival mechanism will kick in. So the more these people can go in places where they feel the safest and also take a perspective which is really, really challenging to do, to take a step back and breathe and relax their system, this is how they will be able to manage. And the more, as human beings, you can actually shelter into a safe place, this is where real transformation will occur. That being said, all of you who are not in this environment and area at war can actually have an impact on them by sending them love and compassion and energy. So when you do that, you're not only sending that to these people, but you're increasing, improving, so to speak, the strength of the compassion, the intensity of compassion on your planet. So you can tilt, if you could say it that way, the needle more towards peace and harmony as you are increasing your own vibration and thus affecting the field and the collective. And this is a big challenge. And we will suggest that if you would like also to find more peace within yourself and increase the vibration at which you're resonating in this inner peace state, will be to cultivate that state of inner peace and befriend the parts of you that are polarized inside of yourself, that are, so to speak, at war between each other. The part of you that is criticizing you, telling you you're not enough, you should have done this, you shouldn't have done that. Why are you so ... If you are creating more inner peace within yourself, you will create more peace outside of yourself, as within, so without. And yet, it is very challenging if you're watching the news and all those outlets that are throwing you all these images that are inducing fear inside of yourself. So, if you are watching these things, watch it the least as possible, or to an extent where you can actually feel stable and calm while you're watching this, which is a real challenge. Does that answer your question?
Yes, I very much appreciate getting to interact with you and hear your wisdom on all of this. Thank you.
Thank you for your own wisdom as well.
Book of Wisdom, we're here about an hour. Do you still have time for more questions?
We'll take one more questions.
Lucky me. I recently began channeling a counterpart of mine who is a Pleiadian, and I was wondering what other counterpart of mine might be interested in coming through and what I would need to do to further that.
At this moment, what we have as a suggestion is for you to build more reciprocity and connection with these beings before going to other ones. There is much more for you to receive from these Pleiadian beings.
Great. I appreciate that. That was my plan, so that fits well. Thank you so much. We appreciate
Following your own wisdom. Thank you for closing with your own wisdom. We are really, really grateful to all of you for your question, for your presence, for your energy, and for your service to your planet and the cosmos and source itself. Thank you so much. Until next time.
Thank you so much.
Well done, Jeff.
Oh, yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, I figured you were getting burned up again, so I figured I better ask before we got over an hour.
Oh, yeah.
Man,
Well,
you were on fire. That was awesome.
oh, thank you. Well, it's the first time that I channeled Book of Wisdom in front of an audience. It was always just me on my own before.
It's a very strong performer. Let's put it that way. Very profound, very useful.
Yeah,
Very deep.
I
Very deep.
I second that.
Thank you for your question. Like, yeah, well, completely different than Raw. Like for me, it's like completely different experience. Not even close to the same thing. Yeah.
We are going to have a discussion afterwards for everyone who would like to stick around.
Since I'm new here, maybe this was already answered. I'm sorry, but I just loved it so much. Thank you. And is this Book of Wisdom, is it an Egyptian entity or what? Where are they from?
It's a 7-dimension entity.
Wow. And are they connected to Ra at all?
They are not connected to Ra directly. No.
Is it just metaphorically called Book of Wisdom, or is there some actual book form of it?
It's the name that they gave me. So I don't know much further, honestly. I would have to question this entity, but that's the name they gave me, and what I'm feeling when I'm connecting with that energy is really really special. It's really special. It's kind of if was in contact with a blend of like all the language that exist in the universe. So written, form, sounds, like all of it.
Wow. That's so cool.
And they did say, Anthony, that they do not have a label. That's just what they gave.
Exactly.
It
Yeah,
seems to
that's-
be a much softer energy than Ra. And I would
Yes.
say that it's a little bit more into the feminine way of approaching the connection to the inquiry, and maybe not as direct and lightning strike as Ra tends to.
Yeah, great observation, Lewis, and it does feel
I
lighter.
experienced Ra way too much. Anyway, just a comment, of course.
Yeah, so it sounds about right. I'm more settled when I do Raw. It's like it takes me sometimes 2 hours just to calm down after. Now it's like, okay, it's gentler in my body.
Does it keep pushing you after, you say I'm done, it keeps trying.
No, no, let's say the dial with Raw is going like higher in intensity. Like if it's going more in my red zone, if I could say it that way. This was like staying in the middle, more comfortable to, yeah.
Very soothing, and thank you so much for doing this tonight. Thank you.
Thank you.
So Ross stays in overdrive the whole time, huh?
Yeah, it's like it's a irradiating sun, so like now I'm warm, but nowhere near how I am when I did the last one with Raw with you guys. Like that actually, I think I slept 5 hours and a half that night. I was like so intensely in that energy. Yeah, it was intense.
We're glad you're making the effort in coming in, and suffering the biology is not really our plan, but hey, thanks for making the sacrifice just for us. Appreciate it.
It's also my passion and excitement, Ray.
Thank you so much for sharing your gift, Jeff. We're going to go ahead and stop the recording now, and anybody who wants to stick around, please do.
Nice and good.